hmm And here he is, the fabulous Dr. Black, once he loads on and he turns his camera on. To ruin the game, to give you the point, you can only bring things that had two of the same letter in it. So noodle, pool, basketball, etc., etc.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have got that.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Black. How are you?
Hello, how are you all?
Good, good. Great to see you. Of
Fabulous.
course.
We're under a severe winter storm here.
Oh, we were just talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Are you
yeah.
getting lots of snow?
Uh, we're getting lots of ice,
Mm,
lots and lots and lots of ice. Yeah, and so I may not have a whole lot of time, but I certainly want to take the time to stick my head in and say hello to you, amazing folks, and chat a bit, uh,
yeah.
and see if y'all had any questions I can answer.
Yeah, of course we do. So to start us off with, Dr. Black, I'd love if you could read us an excerpt from your book, any of your choosing.
Okay, okay. Let's see. I'm Don't Cry for Me, right? Is that the book we're doing?
Yes, don't cry for me. Yes. Not Isaac's song, no spoilers.
Okay, this is what I'll read. All I think of now is you. This means I love you. I feel it in my heart, that sense that nothing and no one else matters. I've always wanted to know that feeling, and now I do. The sad thing is that you won't hear me say I'm sorry, but I did say it. Perhaps in this letter you'll feel it, hear it in my tone, and let my words love you better than I ever did. Just one last request. Tell people I tried. If there is a funeral and if you attend it, please tell them I tried. You are free to say I failed too, for in so many ways that is the gospel truth, but at least say I tried. Recall, if you will, the few joys we shared, you, your mother, and I, and tell them that I left you the house although you didn't want it. Tell them you graduated from college debt free because I paid the tuition. Tell them I wasn't always a good father, but I was always a man. And if at all possible, take me home. Whether in a casket or a vase, just take me home. Don't leave me in Kansas City. Honeysuckles don't bloom here in springtime. Neighbors don't drop by if they haven't heard from you in a while. This is not my home. I can't stay here. Lay me next to my brother beneath the little tree in the cemetery. I'll have peace then. If what black people say is true, I'll meet Esau again and never long for this world. I'll meet my mother too, and hopefully she'll love me the way your mother loved you. I'll confront Granddaddy about what he did, and maybe he'll apologize, and we'll all be happy in eternity. I'll tell Grandma that her dream came true. Her great grandson got a college education, but she probably already knows. This is all I have to say. If this isn't enough, I have nothing else to give. I would give you my life, but it's already spent. The most precious thing I leave you is the land. It's yours. Never sell it. It will support you when the world casts you aside. If you end up like me with nothing and no one, you can always return to it, and it will love you and sustain you without judgment. If you don't think you want it, keep it anyway. It may be all you have one day. And finally, I leave you this charge. Live your life freely, Isaac. Rise above our history and be your unapologetic self. Just remember that I meant well. Even in my failure, I truly meant well. Your father, Jacob.
That
Yeah,
was amazing.
what did y'all think? What did y'all think of the book? And you can be honest, please.
We all loved it. Speaking for myself, I loved it. I read this book for the fourth time to prep for this meeting. So if that
Wow.
gives you anything, I loved it.
Okay, someone else. What did y'all think about
Yeah, I actually don't ever reread books. And so I was like, oh, I wonder what it's going to be like to reread this one again because we read it last year. And it was way more impactful and powerful, I think, the second time around for me. And I was able to like kind of connect more of the pieces and I did. I really loved it.
it? Gotcha, gotcha. Awesome. I appreciate
Yeah, I really loved the book and it made me cry multiple times. This last time that I reread it, I was traveling, so I cried on a bus and I cried on a plane.
Wow, wow. I
I
appreciate
also I also really loved it. I've been telling everybody about it, especially other like BIPOC queer people, because I'm just a crier, so I might cry right now. It's just so powerful to think about what our parents might be thinking, right?
that.
And like,
Yes,
right, I'm not black, but there's like other like histories that are similar.
absolutely.
And so it's so powerful, and you did it beautifully. I listened to the audiobooks. I heard it in
Mm,
your voice, and I feel
my
like that made it
voice.
even more powerful
Yeah,
for me. So thank you for writing something that I think like resonates with so many people.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that so much. I really do. And it's really the thing you said that's most powerful to me, and that is to imagine what our parents might be thinking. And yes, I'm black. I'm very black, right? But the truth is, this experience of queer kids with heteronormative conservative parents is very very universal, right? And this notion of what it means to grow up with parents who want you to be something other than what you are and who are disappointed because of who you are. It's a painful thing to know that you're not what your parents wanted, even then when they try to hide it, you know. And it's and then the irony is they need you, you know. And then you try to be the bigger person. Y'all know what I mean, you know. And then and you have to do that while you're remembering all the hurtful things people said or the ways they, you know, y'all get it. Of all people, you get it, you know. And so yeah, that's what this book is about. That's exactly what it's about. Like, how do you come to terms with parents like this, and how do you live a life and build a self-worth, right? How do you build a self-esteem that circumvents what other people did to you, what other people said to you, how other people made you feel? um, so yeah, that's what the book's about.
That's beautiful. And I guess a good segue into that, Dr. Black, is when did this book's idea first strike you?
Several years ago, my father was dying, and my father, he didn't have lung cancer; he had Alzheimer's, and I wondered kind of what I would say to him if I had a chance now to uh, um, to say to him the fullness of my heart. Like, what would I say? Because now I'm grown enough not to fear his response. I'm old enough not to need him to feed me. So, you know, I'm not worried that he'd put me out. I have my own house. But, you know, so in this agency, what would I say to him? And I began to write this.
I'm going to steal someone's question. I'm sorry. Or was it you, Grace, who wanted to ask that question?
No, go for it.
Oh, I'm going to steal someone's question because it's a good follow-up. Do you think that writing this book was healing for you?
Completely healing.
Mm.
Absolutely healing. And the irony of all ironies is I finished it the day my father died. That morning he passed away, and I had just finished it that morning. It's the craziest thing. In fact, I was on my way to the airport, and my sister called and said he's gone. He died a few hours ago, and so um, it was extremely healing. And it was healing also in ways because I feel like I set myself free from needing my father's applause, and that was in some ways the most healing part of it. Yeah.
Now, I guess I have to ask, do you think you wrote this book primarily for children or for parents?
You know, I think it's both for the parents and for the kids because the truth of the matter is, at one point, the child becomes the parent, right? And we all think that we'll be amazing parents and we'll love our kids and I'll treat my children far better than the way my parents treated me, you know, and I'll love them far more excellently and far more thoroughly. Well, the funny thing is, our parents said that, and what's really crazy is perhaps they did. You know, that's what's, you know, it's unimaginable to us. But the truth of the matter is, when we think of our grandparents in that time, in that era, they were probably far harder on our parents than our parents were on us, right? So in some ways, even the difficulty we've had with our folks, they might have done better, you know, in the longer arc of history, right? Um, and and so part of the ways I think to heal is to begin to understand what is it our parents had to put up with? What did they have to deal with from grandparents uh, who were harsh and cold and mean and hard and abusive coming up in the 20s and 30s, because very few people were wealthy then. Most of our grandparents were poor people, black, white, or whatever, you know, and rural people and uneducated people. So their knowledge of things was very, 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 very poor, you know. And our parents were a little better. But the other thing is, imagine we are far more educated than our parents were in terms of what we know, books we've read, ideas we've encountered, concepts we know about. Even this notion of what it means to be queer, trans, fluid. Like our parents had never heard of this. And then here we come, presented it before them, asking them to love this. And they're like, what the hell are you talking about? You know, and it wasn't personal to us, but it felt personal because it was us, you know. So this book is in many ways about what happens over generations between parents and children. And then, yes, it's for kids, because also to know that, like Jacob in this book, Jacob was rough in many instances and he failed, but Jacob wasn't a horrible human being. There were things he did well. He always paid the bills. To send a child to college for free on a post office salary, that man did well. And he's to be applauded for that. But nobody is all excellent. But also nobody is all flawed, though sometimes in our feelings and in our memory, we have categorized people that way, because that's the way our heart feels it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because the first time I read this book with the book club last year, I was 14 years of no contact with my parents. And then within the couple months after reading this book, my dad reached out and said that he wanted to try to mend a relationship. And then I found out that he'd been in therapy for 6 years. He had gotten on medication, and it was like talking to a different person. But then we actually started exchanging letters, is what I said I was comfortable with. And so now I have this letter exchange. And then like I reread the book again this year. And like it was just like a really like a closing of like a chapter, but it also made me realize it's never too late. So he's
Right.
67. And like, if you would have asked me when I was 14 years old if this man would have ever been able to like put himself aside and like love his kids, I would have said no.
But now he's
Right.
doing it.
Yeah. And so, but he's actually like doing something. Like he got on medication and he's like trying. And then I told him I was non-binary and I told him I'm queer, and he said that I'm really sorry. He said, I'm sorry that I made you feel that you couldn't be yourself. And I'm sorry that I didn't know that you were non-binary. And I was like,
And that's
what?
huge.
That's huge.
It's
Yeah.
huge.
In a
It's
letter.
huge.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
huge.
And it's bigger than we know,
Yeah.
because the world he comes from has no space for that whatsoever. So for him to actually reach out into the ether, so to speak, and to grab an idea and concept that transforms him enough to love you as you are is a gargantuan leap of growth.
Yeah.
So I wish you and your father the best. I hope y'all get to see each other soon.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm thinking about going in May. It's first time.
Go.
Yeah.
Listen, go. Listen,
So,
go, go,
but
go, 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 go. Because time is just short and you just never know when.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so awesome, Grace. That's really awesome.
Yeah. Thank
What a
you.
great story.
But it made
Yeah.
me even more upset that Isaac, that Isaac and Jacob didn't like meet each other before, so I was just like, you should have gone in the car, like as I was reading like the second time,
But you
like,
have, then you must read Isaac's song. Oh God. Y'all haven't read Isaac's song, have
We
yeah,
will.
no, yeah, no spoilers yet, but
you?
yeah, no,
It's coming, but no spoilers.
No spoilers. Have any of you read it?
No, no.
Okay.
I have started it, so I'm like
Started.
halfway through, and I love it.
Mm.
I'm like very excited to finish it. I wish it was in your voice, but that's okay. I'm sure you were busy.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just wait till you get Isaac's song. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay,
We're
Benita.
getting into it soon. Okay. Um, does anyone else have a question they want to ask, or should I just keep going?
No, I think I have a question. I think going along with what you were saying, Dr. Black, um, I often found Jacob's lack of action just so frustrating, kind of like Grace said, of if you only had gone in that car, made that
Uh,
call. So can you talk more a little bit about your decision to make it like that, as
and it wasn't
not
so much
having there
my
being
decision, right? Saul, right? Saul,
Saul, yes.
Saul. Okay,
Yes.
Saul and Kazi. Do I have it
Hmm.
right? Okay,
Yes.
Aaron. Is it Aaron?
Arian.
Say it again.
Arian.
Oh, Arian. Arian. Got
Mhm.
it. And Grace. I got it. Okay, great. And Jonathan, I know. Okay. Yes, it wasn't my decision because, in fact, it frustrated me, right? What it was is the reality of when an old person, who's, of course, already kind of contoured to their ways, is asked to shift and change. The change is never absolute, it's never smooth, it's never easy, right? And it's never complete. And most people's change isn't. Like if you take a racist person who was once in the Klan, the notion that they're going to love and honor and believe that Jesus could be black, now you've gone too far, you know. But the idea that they could be respectful is really a gargantuan piece of growth already, right? And so in this case, what I wanted us to see is the way an older person might struggle with the notion of change and might doubt themselves and might hinder the process in their own self-doubt, in their own insecurity. Um, yeah, in fact, anything else seems a bit untenable and unbelievable, quite frankly. But I was
Yeah.
so frustrated when he got off the freeway. I was like, "Go, man, come on."
Hmm.
Yeah, but I get it. I absolutely get it.
Thank
Because
you. I
if he got
appreciate that.
in his head, if he got to Jacob to Isaac's door, and some other young man opened it, it's like, can I even handle that? So yeah.
Hmm.
Anybody else?
As I was reading the letters, Dr. Black, I was wondering if Isaac is even still alive
Isaac
because
is
they
alive.
haven't. So you've always kind of planned them as like a duology, understanding that he was going to be alive in the next
I
story.
did not at all. I
Did
only
not?
planned
Oh,
to do "Don't Cry for Me," but so many people were loved "Don't Cry for Me" so much, and they were like, "But I have to hear it from Isaac. We must hear from." And I was like, "Do we have to?" And like hundreds of people, like thousands of people, literally said, "You've got to write." And so I said, "Well, let me begin to play with it," and it evolved. So yeah, yeah.
okay.
I,
Anyone
I
else
wanted
have? Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to know more about that reaction that you had of like, do we have to?
Because this was so emotional, and it was so it was just so all consuming in terms of writing this book. And I felt like when I finished, I was like, let's let this go. Good Lord, it was so heavy, you know. But I do understand people wanting to hear from Isaac because the father's talking to Isaac the entire time. And Isaac is an agent, Isaac is a human being. Isaac has his own thoughts, Isaac has his own processes, Isaac has his own ways of being, ways of knowing. And it's important to hear that so that both voices get fully represented. And so I said, okay, I'm going to have to do this. Right. And then writing about Isaac was hard. So I said, I guess this is just gonna be hard. It's just gonna have to be what it is. But the truth of the matter is, uh, writing about queer people like myself, writing about queer people and experiences with other people is necessarily hard, right? It's rarely a pretty story where everybody took me exactly as I was when they met me. Everybody embraced me and loved me, and like, who has that story? So yeah,
You've mentioned that it was both healing and hard to write, and I'm wondering in what ways you took care of yourself while you were writing those things as well.
that's a great question. And there were intentional things I did, right, just to nurture myself and to nurture my spirit as this was happening, and I was purging because I was burying my own father as while I was editing this book and all this, right? So there are things I do that nurture my spirit. Like I fish. I love to fish, so I go fishing often. I'm a musician. I'm a pianist and all that. So I do musical things that just kind of help me purge and be centered. And I'm very intentional about doing them, right? Because if I did not, I just feel like emotionally I'd be so overwhelmed I'd be dysfunctional. Yeah.
Along with that question, Dr. Black, I'm wondering what character for you was the easiest to write and who was the hardest?
I don't ever have any easy characters. I don't have any. Yeah, I don't have any easy characters. So I'm unable to answer that question because all of them are equally difficult for me. I feel like the mother was really difficult for me because she was his ally only up to a point, you know, um, and that was a surprise to me in many instances. Um, so yeah, yeah, you know, it's never easy ones and hard. It's never that for me. I got like 5 minutes if anybody else has any more.
Anyone else, or can I go?
Okay, I've got one.
Good.
So you mentioned in a previous interview that your advice for writers were to work on grammar, just work on it, and to read more than you write. So as an aspiring writer myself, I'm really curious on the technical process that you had while making the book. Are there any like rules you have for yourself when writing? Like I don't know, like writing 1,000 words a day or something along those lines.
I generally write 2 pages a day. That's my standard. But 2 pages could take me 4.5 hours.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's never quick, at least not for me. That's my standard. I
Mhm.
generally do 2 pages. Sometimes I'll get 3 or 4, but I try not to do fewer than two. And I do it every single day when I'm writing a book. Like rain, sleet, snow, or shine, weekends, Sundays, doesn't make any difference. And I work a full-time job. I teach at a university, all that. But if I'm while I'm writing, I'm gonna do at least 2 pages a day, because that way, in a year's time, I'll have a book. Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And good luck
Okay.
on your book. And if you haven't started writing it, I encourage you to do so.
And just one last question before we let you go, Dr. Black. What is one thing you hope readers take away from your book?
It's really kind of what Grace already said, and that is that it's never too late, even if a parent has already passed away. It's still never too late because healing can be done in the spirit also, right? Um, and what I also hope that younger generations take away is we were given far more than our parents. So give your parents a little grace as you walk them through the complexities of who you are and their ability to understand you. And quite frankly, you all, it's not always true that your parents will be the people who understand you most. But the issue is don't expect them to. We want them to because they're our parents and we think they're supposed to. They're not supposed to. They're not supposed to. What you're supposed to have is people who love and adore you. We are supposed to have that, but it may not be our parents who do it. And that's okay. Yeah, that's perfectly and absolutely fine. Yeah. So let me just say thank y'all tremendously, and I beg y'all to get to post something on social media, on Facebook,
Oh
on
yeah,
Instagram.
for sure.
Just say something about this book. That's so very 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 helpful.
Hmm.
And if you happen to read Isaac's song, let me know and I'll come back.
Well, we will read it at some point this year, so you will be back with us at that point.
Let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr.
Well,
Beck.
yeah, thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank y'all
Everyone
so
Thank
say
much.
you.
Thank you so
goodbye.
Bye
much.
y'all.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Goodbye.
See ya.
Okay, now it's just us squirrel friends. That was so fun.
That was so fun. It went by so
It
fast.
did. 30
Oh,
minutes are like that.
ugh.
Okay, so picking next month's book, we have two. Surprise, surprise, The Color Purple, if you couldn't get the hints I was picking up. And a book called Model Home. Just a second, and I'll post both books' descriptions in the chat. Just a heads up, The Color Purple is a drama. Model Home is like a thriller slash horror novel.
Ooh.
In Model Home, we have read this author before. They are very, very talented. So I'm obviously leaning towards one way, but whatever you guys pick, I'm down for.
Yeah, I've heard like really good things about River Solomon.
So good.
Yeah. Hmm.
What was the other book that we had read by him?
It was The Deep, but that was a little before you joined. We read
Okay.
that in 2024. Yeah,
Okay.
2024.
I am always down for a mystery.
Okay. So that's one for Model Home. Anyone else?
I'm down for model home.
Okay. Grace, Kazi, Model Home, or you guys gonna be our swing votes?
Model home.
Gotcha. I'm also Model Home, obviously. That okay with you, Kazi? Model Home?
I may not be joining just
That's okay.
because, yeah, life is busy, but I do end up reading the books that y'all read just because Saul gives them good praises. So I'm here in spirit.
Okay, so that will be the last Sunday of February. Let me double check that. That's the 22nd. Does that work for folks? At noon
Yep, that
PST?
works.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Grace? 22nd at noon.
Yeah, that should be fine. I just have to leave at like 1:55 because I'm in improv class.
Ah, you're one of those, the worst queer people ever.
So
Uh,
sorry, that's why I'm so funny.
you're something, all right. That's okay. So yeah, okay,
But
I'll put us.
yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
fine with I say
Oh,
yes.
so I will put us down for Model Home on February 22nd at noon PST. And that wraps up everything. Does anyone else want to say anything before we sign off, or are we good to go?
Just thanks for putting this together, Jonathan. I'm like, who are you? Like, how are you getting
Mm,
this done?
yeah. Yeah.
So
My
thank
crown
you
is
so
very
much.
heavy. Yeah.
Nice work. Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much. That was like super fun. Never did anything like that before. Uh,
Mhm.
so yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
We got to see
Like,
Thank
what
you.
everybody looked like with their shirts on. So how nice is that?
yeah. Next time the shirts will be off. We'll really get to know each other.
Will Daniel Black be there?
Well, yeah. Well, thankfully, my praise king has been satisfied for the day, so I can go home happy. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and then Arian, enjoy the rest of your Monday. Monday. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.